Now let's go ahead and make some presets. I'm first going to clear twice just to start with a completely clean slate, and then select my first fixture. Select my first group here. Let's just build some quick intensity presets, so I brought them to full. Record. Now I see, once I've got my record pop-up here, that I've got my presets in the bottom of this window. And I can go ahead and simply select a box to record to it. Then I can type a name on my keyboard. Press enter. Same process as making a group. Now, you'll notice in Onyx that across the bottom of the presets window, we have presets by each parameter group type. So we have intensity, pan, tilt, color, gobo, beam, beam effects, and framing. By default, when we press record and record into a preset, it's only going to record parameters that are part of that parameter group, such as intensity. So this would be intensity and strobe channel, things like that. You can override this if you would like from the record options pop-up, which we'll talk about in a couple minutes. Let's go ahead and build some more presets. I'm just going to take these lights to 50%, record a second preset, name it, 10%, record one more, then at 0, record a last preset, give it a name, done. Awesome. Now we'll go ahead, maybe do some pan and tilt presets for these guys. Grab our Van Goghs, put them in our full preset. Now, ordinarily, I wouldn't necessarily in the past go and bring this into my programmer, but when I work with pan tilt and then store to a preset, it's only going to store values that are of that parameter group by default. So it's okay to bring the intensity into my programmer. It's not going to cause any issues. Head to pan tilt. Go ahead and always tilt first, right? Very important. Pan this way. Now I'm just going to go grouping mirror 2 real quick and turn on my fan/effects. Adjust our pan a little, go to fanning. Get these working right. Perfect. Now go ahead, record that as spotlights. Then maybe we'll bring them all center, so I'll just real quickly pop into highlights so I know which one I've got. Give them a color so I can see the highlight. And press next. Got my first fixture. Back to pan tilt. Again, as long as I don't mess with the original record options, I can bring whatever parameters I want in the programmer, and only those that apply to pan tilt are going to end up in the preset. Perfect. Record this guy as downstage center. Back to my pan tilt. Name it. Done. Next fixture type. Clear twice. Grab my darts. I'll do the same thing. Now, if I'm going with a preset that already exists, like my at full here, I could just record, tap on top of it, press merge. However, I don't like to press that extra pop-up, so let's make it a little easier. Take it to 50%, record. This time, I've got my conflict window on my record options pop-up. This is also where I was talking about the filter section at the bottom. If I did want to include other types of parameters in this intensity preset, maybe to make an all preset, I would filter only those types I wish to record. I'm going to hit the arrows to clear that out, and under conflict, click merge. This tells the console that if I'm recording to a preset that's already there, I just want it to merge in there automatically. I don't want it to ask me. Then I'm going to press my star, which is going to save that until I override that save. So now I just saved a keystroke, 10%, 0, done. Same with the pan tilt. Maybe we go ahead and bring these guys up to full. We go ahead and make some quick positions. And so we go ahead and grab maybe half our darts, or every 2. Go ahead and tilt first. Next, grab our other 2. Oops, tilt first. Always tilt first. That's okay. Then we'll go ahead, record some darts positions, some X's. Then maybe we go and we grab just the first half, so 71 through 76. Make sure our highlight's on. Go ahead and tilt over to fanning. Create a nice fan. Try not to burn any holes in the floor. Then we'll go ahead and bring those to full. Then 81 through 86, highlight those guys. Same deal. Now, because I went from one fixture to the next, I'm still in fanning. I didn't have to touch tilt again. I'm already fanning on tilt. Do it on the screen maybe. Can be a little sensitive. So we'll just dial it back right here. Get some good symmetry going. Record. Give it a name. Done. So we made a couple positions now. Perfect. Now I'll go ahead, maybe I'll do a little pan fanning here. 71 through 86. That selects all of these guys. This time I'm going to pan, and we'll fan and do something a little crazy across the way. And go back to regular tilt. Try to blind the camera as best we can. Tilt them a bunch, maybe tweak that fanning back in pan world until we get something that actually looks good without completely blinding ourselves. Record that as random. I don't know if I'll even use that in my show, but it's here. Perfect. Now we'll go ahead, create some colors. I'm just going to put these in something a little more visually pleasing. Again, I didn't have to worry about between preset types clearing out because the additional info in the programmer is not going to get stored unless I want it to. Go ahead, turn off highlight. Boom. Got to bring them all to full. Awesome. Now I can see my colors. Nice and easy. Red. Then go ahead. Green. Maybe I'll do this from the small screen. Get a green that I like. Go ahead to blue. Cyan. Magenta. Yellow. Find that violet we like. Amber. Again, these are presets. We can always update them later. So we want to do the best we can in making them look nice. but if they're not perfect, we can always update them later. Go ahead and make a couple gobos on these guys. Just choose some nice gobos that are next to each other. Don't even really have to rename these because they're just calling them gobo 1, 2, and 3 as an abbreviation. Beam's going to be zoom, things like that. Go ahead and get this guy in focus. Pop in our favorite prism. And then beam effects is generally going to be control, other beam modifiers. In the case of these darts, we don't have anything here, and that's perfectly okay. So let's go ahead and do some more colors for the rest of our fixtures real quick. Go ahead and grab our strip lights. Again, we've saved the merge option in our record pop-up. Just for reference, we'll take it to 50%. We hit the star and we also hit conflict merge. So that merges that in there every time so we don't have to hit another key press. Perfect. Great. So now we'll go ahead, build some colors on these guys. Again, back to full. Go to our color picker. Got both the master and the part fixtures on these guys, and that brings an excellent point when we're building presets. So in Onyx, we've got master and part fixtures anytime we're working with a multi-part. We'll see, as a matter of fact, in the Auto Groups tab, it's going to separate out fixtures that we have in masters and parts in that way. Also in the Fixtures tab. So we can go ahead and build groups for the master and for the parts, and then select only the parts or only the master. Onyx also has some functionality for selecting these called slice and range, which works really well to be able to get certain parts of fixtures. For example, I see here that 41 through 46 are my strip lights. Now, if I go ahead under normal circumstances, slice mode, type in 41 through 46, then what I get here, I'll turn on highlight, is I get the whole fixture, I get both the masters, and I get all of the individual pixels. But what if I wanted just the masters, okay? We'll go ahead, this time we'll get the whole rig, and I'm gonna turn this to range mode, get 41 through 48, boom. And so now I go ahead and I've got the whole fixtures, everything within them. To select just the masters instead of the whole fixture, I'll make sure I'm in slice mode. Now I can type 41.0 through 48.0. The .0 being important, enter, because that signifies the master in any multi-part fixture. It's always the .0. Then the .1 through however many parts your fixture has is going to be the individual parts. Perfect. So now we'll go ahead and record that here to a group real quick. Give it a name. And then we'll go ahead, we'll clear that, and this time I want to get just the parts. So we'll go 41.1 through 48.6, enter, and we get all of our segments there. And if we look at this screen here at the Fixtures tab, we're going to see that we're getting the individual pixels of these strip lights. Okay, the master is highlighted right now, but we've actually selected the 6 individual pixels of these fixtures, at least the first 6 pixels. So just to make a better selection, we'll make sure to get all 14 in there. So again, 41.1 through 48.6, 5.16, enter. Now we'll go and record that to our next group. I'm putting it vertically to keep myself organized. Name it parts for our parts fixtures. And now, as we were going, we have the ability to grab our individual color channels. What we're going to see with master and part fixtures, and you may already be familiar with this, is if I select just the masters, I'm now going to have control of intensity over the whole fixture, the strobe channel, which is classified as shutter, pan tilt, since these are tilting fixtures, a color, master color functions only. So for these fixtures, that's a color temperature selection and some macros, as well as beam, anything, beam effects, anything that applies to the whole fixture. We'll bring that to full. Then we can select our parts and build our color presets. Again, maybe I'm on the screen, I just knock out these, turn off highlight. Got our red. Merging is still on in our record pop-up, so it happens quick. I'm going to pull up my color picker. We can always tweak it later, of course. Here I'm not getting the amber I want, but that's okay. I'll just ballpark it. Then go to my encoder wheels. I got my red, green, blue, white. Gonna pull this out till we get a really nice amber that we like. Excellent. Make a nice RGB white, add in the white to make it blind us. Perfect. So now we've gone ahead and made some presets for our regular attributes. But in Onyx, another really powerful feature is that we can build delay and fade presets, which we can then put into queues later to do fanned timings across our rig. Let's build a couple really quickly. I'm going to go ahead and grab my darts, since they're in the center of our rig, and I'm just going to type delay, then I'm going to type 0 through 5 through 0. Enter. Now, in my programmer, if I do look at it, I see for all of the attributes that those lights have, I have a delay time, and it's fanned across those lights. It goes from 0 to 5 between the start and the center of the selection, and then through the center and end, it goes back from 5 to 0. We'll go ahead and record that to a preset, and the only tweak we need to have is we need to select on our filter all of our different attributes. If we want to store it for all our attributes, we could filter out just intensity or pan tilt and have a delay preset for just that. And then I also want to make sure that time is selected, and it was. Go ahead and place this up in the corner. Call it delay 1. Then maybe we'll type delay 1 through 3. Enter. Perfect, we see it in our programmer. Record, make that delay 2. Perfect. Now we can go ahead. I actually need to re-record that super quick, so I'll turn on active and inactive. That's just going to select anything that was inactivated since the last recording and ensure it gets into this preset. Merge back into that. Now we're good to go. We can see, as I mentioned, that in the top of the top right corner of that preset, it actually lists out all the parameter groups by their first initial. And so we can see when we record other things than just the native parameter group into a given preset. If you're doing fade and delay presets, you can place them in framing if that's something you don't use much, or any of the other parameter groups. for your presets. Awesome. Now let's go ahead and build our first cues.